Thank you for being here. Have a good time. Thank
Yeah,
you, Mikey.
thanks, guys.
Kyle, have fun. Thank you. Rock and roll.
Hey, glasses or not?
You look great. Whatever makes you happy.
Fucking glasses. I love it. Oh, he's cutting it and coming back. Sorry, Facebook doesn't like us today.
I don't like Facebook today. Dude, I've been so busy. I fucked that thing. You know.
Good evening and welcome back to another edition of Beyond the Backstage Pass. I am your host, Vince Edwards. You may know me from Sound Image Productions. We also have a couple closed roadie groups, one called the Backstage Pass and another called Death by Loadout. Come and check us out. With me this evening is my good friend and dear co-part and counterpart and troublemaker. It's my co-host, Kyle Thomas. How you doing, brother?
Good, man. You make me earn my dog biscuits this week.
Oh, man, I tell you what. So, you know, we've been back to work better part of about a couple weeks now, really going at it. And it has been a kick in the ass. You know, like today we were just pushing and going and doing. I don't think people would understand.
Haven't stopped.
No, it's been crazy. It's been so crazy.
You should watch us slowly settle into the show because I think it's been nonstop right up to the
no, like literally. A dear friend of mine from down the Monterey area called me up, Leah, and she wanted to come visit, and I didn't realize it initially, and she said, "How you doing?" I said, "Oh, I'm up to my ass in rock and roll."
Yeah.
And she immediately understood that I was just fucking busy. I was like typing away while I'm talking to her, and trying to push out gear and get things to happen, and we've just been super nutty. What's up with you?
Man, you like I said, you've been fucking making me earn these dog biscuits. I've been prepping a bunch of gigs. We got the profile up, training a few people in our shop on the operation of that. Yeah. Getting the XTA set up, a little console switcher for some shows coming up. You know, it's nice to see all our racks empty and all of our gear out and can just staying busy. It's
kind of empty right now.
Yeah, we're all up to doing something and making money, and
we literally have, I don't know, 1,000 plus XLRs. I honestly don't know what the count is, and I think it's down to like 4 or something. Yeah. It's empty.
It's good problems to have.
Yeah. Shit. I'm certainly not complaining about it, but it's different. It's just so. I guess we just got to get used to that. This is how this would normally be on any given July in our normal careers. Yeah. And so that weird long break in there made this feel unusual when it technically actually isn't unusual.
Well, and like how many conversations have we had on like what possibly could happen in our transition back to this? Is it really going to come back in July? Is it going to be 2022? Yeah. I mean, we'll see. But at this point, it's full right back into it. It's great.
Yeah. We know some of the bigger acts, some of the ones that we interact with, Motley and Def Leppard decided to postpone until 22, Disturbed till 22. Right. But some of the regional stuff, some other acts, they're certainly going gangbusters. They're pushing it out. Lumineers just went out, I think.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Some of these bigger artists, absolutely. It's not in the budget to do, the count that's, available for some of these venues. But you're seeing bigger places open up every day. So I have hope that some of these bigger tours, like you're mentioning, may be seeing a light of day sooner than later.
I think you're right. And also today you mentioned we had some profile training going on with one of the new kids. We also had the Scoville class take place with the S6L with some of the guys too.
That's right, yeah.
And so there was that. We always want to send a little love out to Bob Scoville.
Yeah, I love you, Robert Scoville. Thank you so much for the classes. I've been really appreciative. I mean, just reflecting over the past year of being through COVID, just working solid on that desk, getting it down. He's been such a help, and it's really blessing that he's been able to put so much time. Once a week is a big commitment.
Yeah,
So.
yeah, and it's just such a, he's just a bundle of information and a great man, and we're super lucky with the affiliation. And I got mad love for the man, so just full hats off to Robert Scoville.
Yeah.
Do you know what I call him?
You actually called him his fucking
Called him
name. I'm
Robert
proud of you. That means he really cares about you,
Bob,
man.
don't get used to it. Can't give him everything he wants.
I want to say thank you to Chopper Kovich for last week's show. That was fucking awesome. What an awesome guy.
He's like a brother to me. I fucking love Chopper Kovich. He's such an incredibly accomplished guy. He's such a straight, stalwart, just a minch, just a really killer person. His thing he does with the dogs, his career has been an example to live by. It was really nice to have him on the show and have him share time with us and share his experiences. I was super grateful myself.
Yeah, I'm always personally involved with trying to better my community and trying to help in certain ways. And to hear that he was so involved with rescue dogs and this whole approach was fucking beautiful. To put your time and energy when you're off the road to that was amazing.
Yeah, remind me to ask my guest tonight about School of Rock, because I know he's affiliated with that too. A lot of us try, especially the older guys, to reach out, and at some point, we really care about what we do. And at some point, we understand we're going to time out. We're gonna go and find our rocker, and we're gonna watch our documentaries and our whatever, and turn this over to you younger guys. And we care that it's done right, that we trade off, and that it doesn't fall off a cliff, And then a lot of that isn't, There's some places where the younger guys may know some more stuff as technology evolves, but we're trying to teach you guys how to work in show business and how hard this can be and what a tricky environment it is. So I think that's the trade-off. I think that's what motivates the older guys is to. At some point that we've transferred enough information to you guys, so when we back away in our normal progression of what is supposed to happen, that you guys are good to go. You can take the ball and run with it.
And that's such a critical part. I think we were just talking about that whole stress the other day of how important it is that the person you're teaching respects that as well and realizes what he's or she is really about to represent. Honestly.
Yeah. It's we love what we do. We believe in it as deeply as you can, as passionately as you can. So it's critically important to us to believe that we're imparting enough information so this can be done right.
I think they know.
People can survive it.
Our break away from audio is talking about rock and roll stories on a fucking talk show. So go.
My goal is actually to be the rock and roll Johnny Carson.
You're doing good, dude. We got slightly less followers, but
Johnny had some work that I haven't figured out his exact mojo, but
I think it's called corporate backing.
Yeah. Well, maybe one day you never know. But what the hell is that weird thing on the?
Oh yeah.
Right there?
So our friend Tim O'Connell, he got this lovely plate for us. I think it's called a plate. So maybe we'll serve some food on this. Maybe we'll raffle it away. You guys want
He gave us 3 of them.
He gave us 3, so maybe we sign each one and we try to send them out.
Yeah, we'll hand them off and then they'll come back like return to sender. But it was very nice of Tim to bring those into us, and thank you, Tim O'Connor. He's a good boy.
I want to thank 2 of our sponsors too, Gallagher Staging and Large Screen Video.
Well, I can't say enough about either. I'm crazy in love with John Del Rio. He's one of my dearest friends. He's the big bear from another mother. If you're in a bar fight, shit jumps off, you want fucking John Del Rio right there, because he's going to clean that place out. It's going to get fucking ugly quick.
Oh, and he supports us too, man. He's always on here. He's on here right now saying hello, aloha, and hanging out. I love that
brother. He's Gallagher Staging Guide, and also we just had a thing where he was tearing some part of the Greek down in Berkeley, the Greek Theater.
That's right.
And he called up and said, hey, I got a couple extra 3,500-pound ballasts. You need them, because he knows we got these big stages out here. And yeah, okay. You're handing out 3,500-pound ballasts, sure, drive them over. So I was out here a night or two ago around 10 o'clock.
Oh, you mean
lifting them off this flatbed.
You mean the big ones that you ripped the sign off with?
What? Now, dude, that was a secret. I don't even think my brother knew that. Now he fucking knows that. I took care of it, bro. Don't even sweat it. You asshole. It was a little boo-boo. It was dark. It was
It didn't
late.
even fall off. It's all right, George.
I was
Don't
at
worry.
the end of a 15-hour day. I'm not shitting, literally. It was like 15,
So when we
25
say we've
that
been
one.
working, it's been good. You should see all of us
Yeah.
trying to refocus and
Yeah.
get this shit together. 'Cause
Yeah.
It needs to be. And it has been, so.
Yeah. So thank you, John Del Rio, for that love and for all you do for us. And another, just on another note, the page that him, John Del Rio, George Edwards, and Bob Powers created called Loving Hands for Stagehands. A great place to go. You got some stuff you want to sort out. You need some good feelings, blah, blah. Go over to Loving Hands for Stagehands on Facebook. They made that. And got a bunch of us do a little moderating on it and help populate what's on there and so on. Super good thing. Check that out.
Oh, you froze? Some gun. Hold on. We got to strike a pose.
And
Hold on. Did it pick back up?
Yeah, it looks like my fat face over there right there.
Dude, look at you.
Jesus Christ, I
Look
need
at
to
me,
lose some
Jesus.
weight. Not good.
All right, we're good. We're back
all
on.
right. Yeah,
I'm sorry, the gods of internet are not cooperating.
We
with us
do
today.
a live show on purpose. I do this. I know most of my friends that have shows, and many of them do. They edit their stuff. They're very careful about it. I want to be live. I want the heat. I need the excitement, the potential for failure, like the moment we just had. I kind of thrive on that. And it makes me feel like we're being what we were supposed to be. Roadies
Yeah, right.
in the mix.
Figure it
fucking
out.
fighting the fight, you know? We're firefighters, man. That's what we really are. So I'm cool with it, Mike.
I
You're
gotta
the best.
give it up to Mike Brown just for fucking being an audio dude and fully transitioning into a really complex role of a lot of video shit. Like away from just doing this show, some of his edits for the projects we've done, like Big Love and all those, have been incredible.
My Heavy Memory, the Chris Scoville Band, the stuff he's done for Greg Price, the Jewish fundraisers, all these things might go to Mike. And Mike's our head of audio,
Yep.
Gregory. I'm going to break the screen here. And he's a badass audio guy. Matter of fact,
Oh, he is, man. He's a fucking legend.
He gets some sick fucking mixes. But when that wasn't available to him, he transitioned, and so he's our EP, he's our executive producer, he's our RF wrangler, he's our switcher.
When we call him the octopus,
He's back
it's
there
because he
tomorrow.
earned
Yes.
it.
Yeah.
He fucking does everything.
Flailing around, this poor bastard. So listen, Mikey, we love you. I'm buying beer, okay, baby. I like that we put the refrigerator on his control surface.
He's on his riser.
Yeah, we gave him his own little baby refrigerator with so he can get to his fluids and libations.
Oh, no. Al's taking credit for it. That was Al's treat to
Good
him.
job, Al. And we love you too, Al. But thank you for doing what you do. Al's our lighting director and designer. This is Primus, this guy. He works with Incubus. He's a badass, and he's going. What am I gonna do when you leave, Al? We gotta talk about that because he's going out with Primus for the what the hell's that thing called? The Farewell to Arms or Farewell to Kings or some shit.
Farewell to Kings, yep.
Yeah, the Rush tribute thing. So yeah, we got that, or maybe I borrow a big flashlight or something. Just put it on a mic stand.
Yeah, we'll just,
point it.
you know what?
this
We
way.
can
I
just
don't know.
FaceTime him periodically and just flash our lights at him. Or I'll just put my speaker up to the phone and just.
All right, man. You got anything else? I had a note here. What the hell? I can't see a goddamn thing.
We're all over the place.
And I want to thank the crew. You know, like I said, we've only been back a couple weeks now, and I've been running the crew like mad dogs. I mean, fucking whip right behind them, pushing trucks and gear and shows out of this place, and they've been tolerant of my mania and my brother, who's a very passionate fellow, and so I'm going to thank from the Edwards brothers, from George and myself, the crew, for working so hard this last week or two, and putting up with our crazy and all the changes and all these promoters that are trying to make sense of things and all the. You know how it is, man. You're doing shows that just constantly
The moving parts.
Oh, man. So thank you, guys. We really appreciate it. Without further ado, I got this fucking
Dude,
hot...
you got another nugget for us.
Listen, man, seriously, this guy, I've been trying to get him on the plate. He's busy in his own right. He's doing his own. Let me talk to him.
Yeah, you handle that. I'll get the
All right,
comments.
thank you, brother. Listen, guys, I got a real treat for you tonight. There's a dear friend of mine that I've been able to finally get on the show, and the reason it's taken so long is because he's got his own life, and he's very important and does a bunch of stuff. So we are really blessed today. He had a really fortunate. He started this man is the all-around guy. He's the RF wrangler. He can do anything. He's one of the top monitor guys in the business. He's worked from everybody from Sum 41 to, I mean, the list is long. Drowning Pool, Metallica, it just goes on and on. He's really a highly sought-after guy in his own right. At the same time, during the free time and to explore his own interests, he opened up, and he's been under the heading for many years as Loud and Clear Productions. Today, he had a very wonderful occurrence where he opened up his studio to the world. It's been ongoing. He had kind of a cold open, but today he had a ribbon cutting ceremony to show the world his place. It's some wonderful stuff with it. Let's bring it out here together. It's our wonderful, dear good friend, Greg Rideout. Mr. Rideout.
Vince, thank you. Thanks for having me on, brother. Thanks, guys, so much
man.
for having me.
Such a treat, brother. Such a treat. Let's talk to kind of pick up where I just left off. How did the ribbon cutting ceremony go today?
It was cool. Like you said, we've had a busy day. Like you guys have been slinging, loading 4 trucks and just kicking butt all the way up until the last minute on the pre-show. It's just cracking up. You guys running around fixing stuff. We've had a busy day. We had probably 20 kids from the School of Rock from 9 o'clock in the morning till 2. And they've got a couple of summer camps, one in June, one in July. We brought them in last month for a day in the studio and just showed them how it worked.
Oh,
and I challenged, it's Mr. Perry's School of Rock here. It's right here in Springfield where I live, this nice little town above Nashville.
Yeah.
And invited him in, and I challenged him. I said, 48 hours before, I said, let's record a jingle of your thing. Let's forget recording anybody else's stuff. Let's write a little jingle and record, your stuff. And I said, Mr. Perry, School of Rock. Hung up the phone and said, that was it. And so 2 days later, I said, you got this? He goes, yeah, I think so. And so I made him play drums, bass, guitar, lead, Hammond B3, had him in the vocal booth. We brought all the kids in, did gang vocals. So they got a whole day to spend. And then they went away for lunch. I edited it all together. Then they came back in and they got to jam in the studio and stuff. So we did the same thing. We did it last month in June. We did the same thing today. That rolled right into that ribbon cutting with all the chamber and their delegates and the mayor and the chief of police and just all these dignitaries with this huge. It wasn't a huge thing, but it was a nice group of professional people from the chamber and that side of it doing the professional. We're open for business. Come check it out, kind of thing. And this is what we've got here in the community. You guys were talking about feeding the community and giving back and all that stuff, and that was just a huge way with the kids in the School of Rock, and it just felt so good. So and then rolling right out of that and turning the room around into this. So it's just been a great day for me. So thanks for having me on the show. This is just an awesome way to end a killer day. Whoa, yeah. Woo!
That is love right
I tell you what.
Hello, sweetie. That's Mrs. Rideout.
Service. Aloha.
I'm very sweet. Thank you, dear. Yeah, no.
Wait for it.
What do you got?
Yeah, I'm right. Cheers, guys.
Cheers, my brother.
Cheers to a hard day of work.
Yes.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Salute, brother.
That's to the crew right there. That's for us.
That is perfect.
All right.
I know that you're loving your wonderful
All
wife.
right,
You're a man that's been married for, many decades, huh? Happily married?
Yeah, dude. Juniors in high school.
That's so
this is
sweet.
when we met.
Yeah.
Year out of high school. We've been together for over 40 years married.
How wonderful. So wonderful. Count. Yeah, I finally found the love of my life, too. I actually met her, similar thing, mid-high school somewhere. We dated a little bit, then I went off on the road. She went to college, and we found each other again like 4 fucking years ago, and I am living the dream. It's so cool. I just absolutely...
You got to have somebody to live for, bro, and it shows.
Man, I am so crazy in love with my Betty. She's so rules. Jackie, I love you, honey. So
that's
good
awesome.
For you. I fully support that type of thing. It's so awesome, so good. And really, hats off to you with the School of Rock thing. That is such a great way to give back, get little minds interested, maybe curious about this part of this little world we live in. You
never know who's going to be the next guitar player, bass, and not only that, but maybe somebody will find an interesting sound.
Well,
go, hey, I want to learn about that. And latch on to those guys.
The next Glenn Johns, then the next George Martin, the next who.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, I
never know.
Couldn't agree with you more. I worry on that sometimes I worry that the young people's intellectual curiosity doesn't stray far enough back. To ask questions about how the music was done and who it was and why. And
they don't have any concept of the analog world.
Yeah.
And unless they go back and dig.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, half of them don't even know how to solder a cable, and that's a shame.
Oh yeah, no, I could go
What
on
the
and
fuck?
tirade about that last
I
part.
know. Let's not do that. That's
No, let's move forward.
That was so.
Yeah.
I love it.
But like you said, like you were saying, a lot of kids coming up have the technology,
Yeah,
but they don't have, like you were talking about, can you live on a bus? Can you get around the world with people?
yeah. The
Can you
business
not
part of
only
show
do your
business,
job under
not
pressure, but
yeah, not the
yeah,
show part, the business part, the actual
that's right.
doing it, the fortitude, you know, we call this. You know, I'm in this big giant building with all this gear, and we have to unfortunately weed folks out every so often to make sure that they can do this. You know, because this is an art. We work crazy hours. We sweat. We push. We do. We're first in, last out.
Every day,
And
you got
I
it.
really. I try to be kind, but firm, and to help people understand there's a certain kind of sensibility to be in this job, and a certain kind of stick-to-itiveness that just got to be naturally there. And so we try to mine that in folks and develop that in folks. But this is the man factory. You know, you come here, boy, we're going to turn you out a man. You're going to.
Well, not only do you have to get through it, you have to get through it healthy.
Yes.
Not only physically, but mentally. And you know, you have to learn, open your mind up and humble yourself up to learn. And that doesn't end.
Yeah, no, especially in this business, you know, with technology evolving every 18 to 24 months, it's
Can't
such
keep
an
up
ongoing process. Yeah, you're not wrong.
Yeah.
You're not wrong. So listen, let me dig around in some history with you. You got such a wonderful history. You've done so many great things. Do you mind if I do this non-linearly? I kind of bounce around a
No,
little
dig,
bit.
bro.
All
Dig.
right,
Let's
baby.
do it.
So listen now. So I want to talk about Sum 41. Now
All right,
I've
cool.
seen Sum
You're not
41.
digging that far. That's recent.
I know. I'm gonna.
You didn't
but
have to go back that far. Shit.
I'm gonna jump a little back and forth, but I picked. You know, your career is it's so expansive that I had to kind of selectively dig out stuff. I've always been fascinated with Sum 41 when I would see them do what they do, how much money they put into their show. You know, for being kind of a nouveau punk band, to come out with as big as they do, with the lighting and the fucking pyro and the whole nine. I mean, well, you were monitor for them, huh?
It's amazing. Yeah, I'm monitor and drum tech.
Yeah, yeah.
I do monitors and tech for Frank Zumo. And there's a lot of moving parts in the show, you know, and I love the band and I always knew who they were. And when I got the gig, I got to rehearsal and said, yeah, this is going to be nice. They're a little bit heavier than I thought they're going to be. They're not necessarily pop punk, man. They rock, man. They're nice and they got a nice edge to them. You know, they're a good bunch of guys and they live healthy and strong musically. And it's just a really great camp to be a part of. I can't thank Derek and the band and management and our crew. And we just got a good bunch of guys and we were in full swing. Like you say, it's a big show. You know, they're headlining most of the festivals in Europe.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're huge over there. We were just rolling, you know, halfway through a world tour, just a machine when this thing came to a stop. We were adding pyro, you know.
Yeah.
It's
rough. I'm sure that.
So we've got 2 shows this year, Sum 41.
Yeah. Whereabouts?
UK, the 4th and 5th, which is slam dunk, north and south.
Oh, that'd be fun.
And we're headlining, and I got the set list with the pyro cues, and we're going over for weeks worth of production and rehearsals for a couple shows, and that's it till probably 2022. But you know, I've got some other things going on which will keep me busy. And
of course.
I can't wait to get back with my
with the boys
band, and yeah, it's just a great crew.
Yeah, no, it sounds super exciting, and you know, we do have
It
some
is.
folks from across the pond that a couple folks that are real religious watchers of us. So check that out. Sum 41 coming to you.
I mean, like you were saying, the moving parts. Not only are they a great band, very energetic, killer songs, all fast-paced stuff, you know.
Yeah.
But they've got 12 cryojets and streamers and confetti and 2 18-foot inflatables and pyro and concussion and
last time I saw them, I was kind of
out.
blown away. I won't lie, man. I was like,
worn
wow,
out.
you know, because it's hard for me a little bit to put the. You know, I come from the punk rock era, and so the punk rock is such a stripped down sensibility, you know, almost like that's a sellout thing. And they did it so well, and Green Day does it really well, you know, where they understand how to work the crowd, they understand how to give you your money's worth, give you a really
and
big
not only
show.
stuck to their roots, but the entertainment value, like you said, is just over the top.
Great show.
And the
Great
hit songs as they go on throughout their career just builds a really good show.
Yeah, and they got
I'm
a hell of
proud
a
to be
catalog.
involved with it.
Yeah. Oh, I totally understand that for sure. Another band that you work with, who I love a great deal. I actually have my ringtone for my woman, "Falls on Me." The song "Falls on Me," Fuel. That's
Oh,
my
nice.
ringtone for my chick. You know, I love that song. I love my woman, and I associate some kind of feeling with them. I know you were out with those guys on the U.S. tour. What was that like?
Yeah, you know, I got to give props up to my man Doug Kimball for that one.
Yeah.
You know, Doug had to do some stuff, and he couldn't make a few dates, and I filled in for him, you know, just for a short term. And great bunch of guys, real easy to work for, good songs,
Yeah.
super easy.
Yeah, really good
You know,
catalog. Really enjoyable
yeah,
stuff.
exactly. And that was before this recent change. I'm not
Yeah,
too
they got a
sure
new
what went
singer,
down.
huh? Yeah, I saw that.
I'm not too sure what went down, but you know, it's a whole new band.
It's always something.
Like, wow.
Who knows? I see he plays guitar, and I saw a thing where he was whipping out a ton of leads, kind of rather chaotically.
Sure.
I'm very curious to see how it lands and what that's going to be. But you know, as a band, an extraordinary bass player, really great live band, and so I hope that they land well and that they come
Great
back
catalog,
out.
like you say.
Oh man,
Yeah.
a really strong catalog. Yeah, they have a couple really, I would say more than a couple really great songs that are very, very enjoyable.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
And
but
that was a front of house thing.
yeah,
which
yeah,
is,
you were,
which is different for me on the other side of the hose. You know,
yeah, but I bet you killed it though.
I love it. I do. I do.
You consider that the wrong end of the snake or the right end of the snake?
No, I think I am more where I need to be in monitors. I'm more of an asset, and I feel more at home mixing
Yeah,
for a band
yeah,
on stage. The monitors, you know, and reading what they need when they need it, just with
yeah,
them
yeah.
turning over and get, you know,
Yeah,
whatever it is.
yeah, you're the
You
line with
know what it is.
you're the line with the ruffled up hair, not the fancy fucking hair. You're the
Exactly.
guy that likes
And you
to
know,
put in the work.
I've had my days at front of house, you know, and I've had my days at screaming 130 dB, you know, stage volumes, and
Yeah, yeah,
then came nice beautiful ears, and you got this nice beautiful volume knob over here. You don't
yeah,
have to
yeah,
rip your face off. So
yeah. So good.
that was nice. And I guess, you know, if you're good at mixing left right sub front field delay, I guess you can add about 12 to 16 more mixes, and you're probably good at that. Let's see what takes from there. Throw in some RF, and
It's funny. I always
well,
love to
fuck
hear.
it. Let's let him set up the drums too.
Yeah, right. I always love to hear it's kind of the pooch versus tater conversation. You know, it's like you know,
I tell you what.
Pooch is a fucking maestro. I mean, right? You just couldn't get a better front of house guy out there. But then I see Tater over there just killing himself, you know, working his butt off for a band like Iron Maiden, you know, and to think about Iron Maiden's mix, you know, that's some work. And so I've always been a little more fond of or at least always thought there was a little more to the monitor position and you know the work that goes in. You know, to me, you got many clients, whereas as a front of house guy, to me, you got pretty much one client, which is the audience. And of course, the occasional tour managers that's behind your back or band manager.
It's basically you, because you
Yeah.
know if it sounds good for you, it sounds good for the rest of the 20,000 people in
That's
that
right.
arena.
That's right. Yeah.
And if you're having a bad night, somebody might notice it.
Yeah.
But you know, if there's an ounce of feedback, somewhere, you know, the first guy that's getting the stink eye, right?
Oh, absolutely.
So I don't
Absolutely.
know. You know, Matt Trevino, our front of house guy, is legend, and he's young and younger than me. I say that lightly.
Yeah.
And you know, these guys have got their chops together, man. And I'm like you say, I'm learning, and teaching. And
Yeah. No, that's
phasing
that.
out.
Listen, man, when the grays set in, that becomes our job. You know, to carefully and kindly try to offer up any assistance and you know, a perspective, I guess, on the job and for the younger guys, because there's some real badass young talent out there, but don't feel like they're whole yet. You know, they need to get a couple burns on them, and you know, to be completely sorted out. Let me talk to you about Loud and Clear real quick. I'm very interested in Loud and Clear. I love what you've done with the place. I haven't unfortunately been able to come out and see it directly, but one day that is my goal. But you sent me some amazing videos. You've really realized something there. It's absolutely beautiful. What did it take to get that off the ground?
You know, this whole thing was forced, and actually, Loud and Clear Productions was me bought my first PA and started my first production about Vacaville, California. You know, right where that's at, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, I came up and had my first PA and started mixing bands in the Bay Area and clubs and cutting cutting my teeth, at the Omni and the Stone, and working for bands,
Sure.
and then working for headlining bands at those clubs, and just knowing that something was right there in mixing, and I started buying more PA and stuff like that. So started producing events, festivals, and things, and just offering a place for kids to play is where it started. Doing battles of bands. Nobody had a place to play. All these kids and bands. So I'm like, well, let's give back. Let's give some studio time. Let's give some wireless equipment away. Let's give some money away, and let's have a great time. So we just started doing that for, it's a heck of a way to advertise your company too. Put out a nice big PA and a sound and lighting system. So that's how I grew regionally as a small company in California. So that's where Loud and Clear Productions started, and of course, we moved cross country and raised our son, and of course, we started up again there. And I was working always as a touring guy, so it was always a great supplement. But man, I tell you what, I sold all that stuff, man. I didn't want to do the big heavy work anymore. I turned into a touring guy, not necessarily white gloving guy, but I wasn't going to come home and set that shit up too.
On your own time.
I needed a break, so just get rid of all the big heavy stuff. Keep my mics, keep my nice cable package, and what it would take to do a small tour. And
sure.
Keep those relationships with those folks you've been working with, right?
Right.
So that's when this all happened, right? I'm like sitting here looking out of my mix booth, which is now it was just a room where I kept my equipment and fixed stuff, but I always knew that this would be my mix booth, and there'd be a big room out there.
Yeah.
And this thing forced me into doing it, and I'm glad it did. And we just built a nice facility, and I had a metal building on our property, and we got a nice 20 by 30 9-foot ceilings and an ISO vocal booth. And
I saw that.
Did the stream and broadcast thing. That's what we all had to do, right?
Yeah, that's right.
That's where we're at right now.
Yes, sir.
So just live performance, and then I wanted to give back with a lot of my endorsees and pros, and say thanks. And a lot of the J.H. Harvey, who I've endorsed for years, just
sure
say thanks and do their product endorsement on the new L Acoustics Contour XOs.
Oh yeah, that's great.
And just all these relationships with these people, and DPA powered the thing and just gave me a full complement of mics for the studio.
Wow, that's great.
For the episodes. So that's kind of how that evolved into a performance and product review. And then here's all these guys and monitor engineers and techs and front of house guys here in Nashville sitting at home trying not to do bad things and just get through this thing, right?
Absolutely.
Shotgun barrel out of our face. And so I just get them on and just give big hugs, man, and just try to lift some life into a situation we all needed to get through. Just like you. Just like you, right? That's why you've had countless numbers of legends on your show just talking about this same very thing.
Yeah, we've been very lucky, and we feel very lucky that you decided to come on. Thank you so much. And it sounds like you're coming from a very kind and sweet and thoughtful place. Let's get these young minds, give them something else to think about, and get a little distraction. I often worried that society doesn't give. Remember when we were 17, 18, or even younger? There just wasn't a lot of productive things.
No, I don't remember. I'm teasing.
It's funny what you were saying earlier about, doing this healthy. I'm actually only about my 8th or 10th year of being living properly. But it's certainly a nice change. Eating spinach and trying to do it right. It's been nice having the chemicals out of the way and living and doing it in the proper way. And
there's no way we can survive and do what we do.
No.
In this business, in this life, and just in general, man.
Yeah.
There's no room for that shit.
Yeah, I think I was worried that it wouldn't be fun, and it turns out it's more fun. That I enjoy it more. It's just a different set of things. So yeah, it's been really great, and I'm glad.
Just more eyes wide open kind of thing. You're just more aware of everything all the time. Fully,
Yeah. It took
Go ahead.
It took the myopic glasses off. There was this weird tunnel vision in it. And all of a sudden things got brighter and bluer and nicer and. Yeah, so it's been a good thing. I'm glad to see that. Maybe you've noticed this too in the young folks coming up that we interact with. They don't seem to have those 80s type hang-ups that were in our business so prevalently, so completely. in the game, it's almost a non-issue. I
The
can't think of,
lifestyle is completely different.
yeah, I cannot think of, and I mean this now, and I've got a pretty huge stable here of one guy in my mix that's got those old school kind of 80s issues. There's some,
Yeah, yeah.
we got a couple drinkers in the mix, but you know, they handle their business and they do it at the appropriate times. But the other things that used to be such a distraction, maybe you could say problem, in our industry are virtually gone. I really love being in this part of it, when being able to deal with folks with a clear mind, and they're coming at me with a clear mind. It really makes it a more productive, healthy environment. It's very nice.
It's the only way to be, brother.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more, baby. Let me ask you about the Kings of Chaos. Now, for people that don't know what the Kings of Chaos is, they should know. This is a super group, maybe the superest of super groups. I don't know another way to put it. You were front of house for them, I believe, on the U.S. dates. This is Johnny Depp, Alice Cooper, I mean, Matt Sorum.
Sorum puts that whole thing together.
Yeah,
He's just
yeah.
got a whole slew of just, I don't know. It's his pick of who he wants to put together for that particular show.
Yeah. It's absolutely crazy. What was that like being front of house for them? Or
It's
were you monitors for them, right?
It's both.
Yeah.
Both. I've known Matt for several years, and he brought me on with that project. And you know, he does this thing called Adopt the Arts in Anaheim every year to save music in the schools, and it's just a great thing. And you know, they honored Sammy Hagar a few years ago, and they had this big, huge superstar jam. And you know, double drum kit with Matt Sorum and Kenny Arnoff.
Oh,
and,
Jesus Christ!
you know, the list of 7 guitar players across the front of the stage. You know, it's just incredible to be a part of.
Yeah.
And it actually went on Sammy's road trip thing. You know, so they featured that on kind of the show, and that was pretty cool.
Yeah, we got Sammy up here. He's a incredibly public spirited guy, but Matt, he came on and he did Big Love with us, and we called it the Mats. We broke him into 3 pieces. You saw that, right?
Yeah, that was great.
I think he did Tom Petty's Won't Back Down. It was freaking, It was awesome up in the Hollywood Hills. It was really, really cool.
I tell you what, Matt, we all know is a legendary drummer. You know, he's
the Cold, Guns N' Roses, Velvet Revolver. Yeah.
Yeah, the list goes on. Billy Gibbons solo, and that's how that rolled into that project for me as well. Was my relationship with Matt Sorum. So that.
You working with Billy? You're talking about.
Exactly.
The amazing Billy Gibbons of ZZ Top.
Billy F. Gibbons.
Yeah, let's get that in there. You don't want to really piss off Billy.
Yeah, I can't leave
Billy,
the F out.
What was it like going out with him on his solar thing?
I tell you what, Vince, you know, we've all done great tours. We've all done the shitty tours, and that's how we've grown in our life. But I tell you what, Billy F. Gibbons was probably one of my most favorite tours I've ever done in my life.
Classy guy. Sweet
guy.
Man. Yeah.
Sweet man, very aware of the entertainment value and what people want to see, and he gives it to them every night. With Matt Sorum on drums and Austin Hanks, it was just an awesome lineup. And he's just a sweetheart of a man.
Yeah, no.
You know, we all have cool little things we put on our console, you know, little console toppers here and there, and Billy caught on to that. And he would just come in every other day. It was just new toy for me, and he'd buy tacos and beer and it was just awesome, just legendary, man.
Yes,
legendary. Everybody knows Billy, and what an honor it is to be around him.
You know, we were doing a thing with Queens of the Stone Age. I want to say 10 years ago, and we were in the studio down in Sound City, and he came in to do some overdubs over one of the songs that was done. And I swear to God, now we're at Sound City, so you know Sound City. This is a legendary place. Some of the best recordings of all time have taken place at this place, right? Yep. And I hadn't been there since a Nirvana thing we did earlier, way earlier. And he comes in, and I swear to Christ, it was like we're kicking it with, you know, guys from, I got Maryland, man, Twiggy's there from Maryland. We got all these people, like all these kind of people in their own right that are kind of badass. As Billy walks in the door, I swear to God, it was like the king of rock and roll had walked in.
It was like Jesus walks in.
It was so heavy, man. And he came in, and he kind of kicked it next to this Fender Twin thing, and we played him the track, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I got that." And he just in one take, man, he put this over track. It was fucking incredible. This overdub he did was amazing. And it was done, and we just sat back and smoked cigarettes and shoot the shit and ate a bunch of Mexican. What an incredible human being! It's just a treat of a human being. And I understand ZZ Top is going out. And they're
I saw that. I saw that.
Right, North American tour.
I saw one of my merch buddies was flying the other day, and I knew where he was going and what he was doing.
Yeah. I wish them continued success. I can't think of many bands that have been together as the core nuclear band for over 50 years. Come on, man. Frank Beard, Dusty, and those guys. It's such what an incredible thing. Absolutely wonderful. I wanted to rap at you about Papa Roach. You know, Papa Roach, I know this was a ways back, but not that long. I guess it's only about 5 years, huh?
Papa Roach.
Were you out with the Roach?
I did a little bit of, I got a call from Bobo, their driver. Something happened with their driver, and I happen to have a CDL. They needed a CDL driver, and it was like an emergency last minute thing. And I was like, sure, bro, I'll go through the last of the tour. And
when I saw that, I thought, wow, what an outlier for you, because you're literally one of the best monitor guys in the business, and you apparently had this little window in there, and you're like, sure, I'll bail you out. How can I help you?
No, I'll back up. Before that, my first experience was when I was working for George and Delicate in the Bay Area.
Okay, my brother George.
Yep, and we had Papa Roach video shoot in Vacaville at the old original theater that somebody has redone, this old theater that we watched Jaws and Rocky Horror Picture Show, and just got trashed and run down. Somebody's built this beautiful theater. That was where I graduated high school. That's where Papa Roach is from. They're famous, you know. They're proud of Vacaville. That's their hometown, right?
Sure.
So they decide they're gonna shoot a video in the theater that they went to, same theater, right? So they get Maria Banks and they shoot the video Gravity. Hire George, do production, all these hanging lights and stuff, right?
Right.
I don't know if you've seen it, but all these big gaudy, nice filament bulbs, lights hanging down above the whole stage. And
sounds familiar, yeah.
so we hang the thing and rig the thing for hours and hours. So I finally get it done. I go home. I come in the next day. They're all, hey, man, we're real sorry. And I go, well, what's going on? They go, well, a couple of bulbs got broke. And I go, okay. And I walk up to the stage, and it's just glass everywhere. And apparently they did each guy filming themselves just breaking the bulbs with their guitars and drumsticks. And
how did my brother react to that?
Okay.
No way.
Hey, man, they paid for those bulbs.
Invoice.
They can do whatever the hell they want. That's right.
Yeah.
And it looked great on the finished product, and it was a blast to be involved with. So that was like my first opportunity with Papa Roach.
Right on. You mentioned my brother. I know you guys have a long, rich history. You know he loves you. When he saw that you were coming on, he did his little fluffer boogie dance for you.
That was the Jorge special, dude.
Can't help himself, man. He's a colorful fella. But
you just call it the Jorge special.
I did.
That's fucking awesome.
You know when he does that thing with his shirt, man.
Totally.
All right, here we go. It's on.
Well, the Jorge special is actually the burrito from the food truck that you guys go to right down the street.
Yeah.
George, you look at me and he'd go, hey, you ready for lunch? I go, okay, yeah, cool. What do you want? And he goes, the Jorge special. I go, okay. And I knew exactly what burrito to order.
No rice, right?
Nope.
No rice.
Go to the truck, buy the burrito, and that was it. So that's where Jorge special comes from.
Right on.
But that burrito that walked by the screen there during sound check was the Jorge special. I love George.
Yeah, he loves you.
I love you too. You guys were triplets. I don't know if you know that, right?
Yeah. I feel like that must be the case. Yeah, the blood is thick.
George, we're the same age, born on the same day, born an hour and a half apart.
That is so weird. I'm
aware of this. Isn't that the weirdest thing?
I am aware of that. I know you share the same birthday, but then literally within a 2-hour span.
It's so weird.
It's so small, friggin' world.
If we talk to each other and look at each other, it's like we're looking in the damn mirror sometimes. Other than he's got me by a foot and a half.
Yeah, no, and he loves you dearly. I hope you know that. He knows most of the folks that I bring on the show, obviously, but rarely does he stay late enough to get to say hi, and he wanted to be sure to say hi to you. So
he's really been a critical part of my career for the past 10 years in guidance and support. And just if I have something off, I'll call him and just bounce it off him like a soundboard, and he'll shoot me just like he's my brother. And that's how George is with all of his brothers.
That's right.
And he's got all these veteran friends, they're 30-year plus guys that are just awesome stories and guys. And it's just, I feel proud to be involved with his story as well. So it's just cool.
Right
Cool
on.
camp to be involved in, bro.
Well, I can tell you that he feels the exact same way about you as well as myself. You're a badass and a legend in your own right. We love fucking being associated. I want to dig around in set now. One of your first big career moves you made was a really kind of a special thing. It involved the Black Tour, the Black Album Tour with Metallica. Tell us about that. How did you get that?
Dude, that fell in my lap. I was working for a recording studio in the Bay Area in Richmond, Bayview Studios.
Sure.
Back in the day. Owner says, "Hey man, show up early on time. Got a big client coming." I'm like, "No problem." Roll open the door to the box truck, and there's road cases that say Metallica. And I was 25, 26 years old. I was a young kid. I nearly shit my pants.
Yeah.
And that was right after And Justice. So they rehearsed in the studio for 2 weeks. And Zach turned, their stage manager, bass tech, guru, turns to me at the time and he goes, "Greg, have you got your passport?" I'm like, "No, sorry." And he goes, "Fuck, I could have used you in Europe for 6 weeks, man."
Wow.
So do me a favor, kid, get your passport. I can't promise you anything. Just we'll be back in 6 weeks. We'll rehearse and give you some, run-in work or whatever.
Sure.
So they got back in 2 weeks and basically hired me for the next 2 years for, doing their personal run-in. And, I'd get to watch over Paul Owens and Mick Shoulders quite a lot, dude, and get to be
cool.
Really good friends. In fact, I just saw Paul last week at JH at an open house here in Nashville, and just Paul and I just linked together really hard. And
wow, man.
talked about good old times.
He's doing well.
He's doing well. Yeah, he just had some big news in his world.
Which was?
He's president of DCR.
Wow.
Nashville.
No shit.
Yeah.
Good for him. I can't think
So
of
coming back out of retirement kind of thing. And or can we say that? I don't know. Shoot. Sorry, Paul. It's public news now, bro.
Yeah. No. And I can't think of a better fit. I mean, he's such a badass. I mean, really, just a legend in his own right. I mean,
well, just working on that crew from a young age. Zach had me as a local guy doing all of the running from their warehouse and back into their houses and to the techs and having stuff fixed and their bicycles and just from personal stuff to doing all the West Coast shows. So, I was young and had a young child at the time, and he didn't want to take me out on the road full time, and he kind of did me a favor.
Yeah.
At the same time, it was a double-edged sword.
Sure.
Because that was what I've done since then for the rest of my life. So, you can't give somebody a taste like that.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
So I was fortunate to be a part of that time and that album for a good period of time. And I appreciate that whole camp. Awesome. Yeah. Awesome experience.
I understand they just remastered that thing and they're pushing it back out on like the anniversary or something like that. So
the Black Album?
Yeah. Yeah, they just remastered it and pushed it back out. So they'll probably have a second bit of success with that, probably tour in support of it. I wouldn't
hopefully there'll be bass guitar on it this time.
I have a follow-up comment that I am going to refrain from saying about certain snare.
No, we won't talk about that. But let's talk about Injustice. They remixed it. What happened? They still didn't put bass guitar on it.
Bypassed.
I'm sorry. All right, we got to be real careful right now. It's all good. We have love for that community and those fellas. Right on.
Totally.
Right on. Good for them. Jack White. Jackie White, one of the more phenomenal guitar heroes out there right now. What was it like? We got right here in the shop, Derek Van Ord. He was with them with Dead Weather, with Rock on Tours. He had them tied down for years, really on it hard. What was it like working with Jack White?
It was unbelievable. Jack's a phenomenal talent.
Yeah, incredible.
That was another one of those in the right place at the right time, picking up the gig, kind of thing. And it was the Blunderbuss tour, and it was where he was carrying an all-girl and an all-boy band. And we wouldn't know what riser to set up until after breakfast. There was no set list. It was really off the cuff, and that's how Jack plays on stage, dangerously, and it's awesome. Yeah. It wasn't a good show, and there was a slight bit of violence, a little bit of bloodshed. We all knew it was a good show,
Yeah.
But it was incredible.
Yeah,
incredible to watch him perform every night.
he's an extraordinary cat. He's a unique talent and a unique person. I like what he's doing with his little record company. He's got that thing he bought out of there. I think that's out of your neck of the woods, isn't it?
Oh yeah. Third Man Records, right downtown.
Yeah, it's
he's huge in vinyl, and I believe he bought the vinyl plant. So he's now bought the vinyl pressing plant.
That sounds so him. He's so.
It is.
He's such a diehard loyal to the original.
Well, he does live shows at Third Man, and he actually cuts to the show to vinyl, and so they got the booth and they got the camera shot of the needle burning the wax right there live. It's so cool. You go to those shows, you get the special thing to where you can buy that record. It's just a special thing, man.
Wow.
Pretty unique.
Very organic. Very cool. Now we know he's down
in all analog, bro.
Yeah, he's
all
down
analog.
with the old ways, and
got that right.
We can certainly.
Hey, can I get 12 guys over here to help me tump this console?
Now that's a console party right there.
Yes.
No, he's a diehard and a special cat in his own right. There's not a lot of guys like Mr. White, to say the least.
I was talking to somebody, I think it was the past couple days.
I got nothing. You got anything?
Yeah, I'm hearing it.
Well, check.
Give me your back.
Here, do some roadie stuff.
That's some dead batteries. Fucking love it. Nice.
I have no idea why this is happening tonight.
Because I'm on the show, buddy. Can't hear me, but
battery me, Mikey.
Mikey, batteries. You
That's
guys.
incredible.
If I paid you, I would be firing both of you right now.
Called it.
There's no firing. Oh man. We have your batteries. No, sorry, I'm just joking. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to start leaving batteries here.
See, that's what
it's just fire. It's just a little fire.
Stab me with a cigarette.
Hold on. I think we're going to have to start leaving batteries on the table. I feel like. Oh man, I'm going to talk about this. I'm going to put these guys on blast right now. Gregory, I'm not kidding. I think I got a bad batch of the Pro Cells.
Yeah, because we did put in brand new batteries.
Give them to him. I'm not kidding. Now we buy.
Who was that? Who was that young crew, man?
That was Mikey Brown. That was our EP and all around badass. But I'm not kidding. We buy batteries by the metric shit ton. You know that.
Yeah.
I mean, we really strongly invested in this particular company. And this is not the first time this has happened. On this show, I think is this the first time on a show that's happened? But during other events. So again, we're gonna have to look at what the hell that's all about. I apologize.
I can't wait to see what happens next, dude. I can't wait.
I'm gonna tip over backwards out of my chair, feet straight up in the air.
Oh Jesus! Knock on wood.
You gotta keep it exciting, You got my dear friend here. Talk to us about your time. There's a particular cat that was interesting to me. I always found him to be an extraordinarily good guy. There's Vinnie Paul and Hell Yeah, the folks over there.
There you go.
What a special guy. I know you spent time with those folks. And I believe was Dimebag involved with Hell Yeah?
No, Dimebag was not. That was Damage Plan.
Wow.
That was that project when Dime left us.
Yeah, so sad.
And then it took a little bit of time for Vinnie Paul, but that was his first project back was Hell Yeah.
Yeah.
And they had several releases, 6 or 7. I spent the last 2 or 3 years of Vinny's life with Hell Yeah and Chad and Tom and Christian and Kyle and the boys, and it was a great experience, man. It was some heavy fucking metal, bro.
Oh, I believe it.
I mean, just the king of drums, bro. Vinny is such a sweetheart, and as we all know in the industry, just how much of a legend he was, and just a great man.
It's tragic that they both technically should be with us, and that they're not is not right. But
no, it's I think after Dime, Vinny obviously, there's a huge loss that no one could even possibly begin to understand.
Yeah,
and he had to live large, I believe, for both of them. So.
Lord knows he accomplished that.
And he did, he did. He taught us all to live large and just have fun and enjoy life, and it just brought that whole spirit of just lighten up and just laugh and have fun. And man, he just treated everybody like gold. And, sweetheart.
Always
Just
a genuine, kind, really incredible person, huge personality, just an amazing cat.
and just legendary drummer. It was
Yeah.
just so awesome to mix monitors for him and just watch his rhythmic patterns and mix him every night. It was just such a thrill, man, to
Yeah.
just to be a part of.
I can
And
imagine that
was
had to be
so awesome.
extraordinarily exciting.
It was, and I was on monitors at the time, and we had just during a break when they were recording the last record, he had finished all his drum parts, and of course, left the band with that to finish as his last body of work. And as the band was doing their parts, we were communicating, and we had tour dates, and I was actually moving to front of house, and that was some of the last texts that I had got from him, and we were building monitor rigs, and I delivered them to his house in Dallas there, and that was the last time I saw him alive. And it was just a tragedy, bro. And took a long time and a big piece out of all of us. And,
I bet.
not the only guy. We're a lot of brothers just hurting still. But we celebrate him every day. There's just a magical thing in life, that it happened to all of us. And just there's instances whether you look at the clock and it's 3:33, or you find a dime on the side of the street, and you know that it's Vinnie Paul just saying, dude, you're doing the right thing. You're doing the right thing. And you feel that energy, and he's just digging everything that's happening. So yeah, it's just amazing, bro. And that, I've had the pleasure to work for some legendary drummers, and obviously Vinnie at the top of the game.
Yeah.
Matt Storm, and now I'm working for Frank Zumo, and back from Metallica days, giving Lars a ride home from the studio, and just it's just been a life of that. And just the guys like us that have that luxury to, we don't live like rock stars, we just live with them. We're serious to go to work.
Proximity.
It's a job.
Yeah.
And that was a big part of the partying thing for me with Vinny. Vinny tends to drink a little liquor. I don't know if anybody knew that or not.
Really?
And definitely they put a stop to doing shots for me, and that's where I kind of drew the line in the sand and said, look, I got to work, I got to be professional, and I can't do this anymore. I love you, Vinny, but I'll pour you for him all night, brother, but I got to go to work and get up and work and just be right. So I kind of made up my mind then to it just doesn't mix.
Yeah. At some point it feels like we have to acknowledge our age and maybe kind of go into the latter years a little more gracefully, a little more carefully, a little more.
Well, what's a trip is we were the same age too. Vinny and I were the same age. We're 4 months apart, I think.
Wow.
So that kind of hit home to me as well when he left. I'm like, okay, bro.
Yeah, it definitely started thinking about your mortality. Two ways.
Well, and that happened probably, like you say, 5 or 10 years before that. Just thinking about your heart, how you live, how you eat, how you sleep, and all those important things you need to do to survive.
Yeah.
So I loved Vinnie Paul for living like Vinnie Paul.
Yeah. You can't take that from him, and he was such a special guy. Listen, man, you look great. You really do. You're bright. You're all fresh faced, and you look happy. And I'm really glad to see that. I'm glad to see that you're doing so well, and that you've got this wonderful project with Loud and Clear going on, and that you've made this gathering place for hopefully some folks that are looking on the technical side, of course, for the artists to come. Correct me if I'm wrong. Is it Loud and Clear Artist and Studio Production?
Loud and Clear Productions is been the name of my company, and when I built the studio, I just added music and art studio.
There it is.
Because when this thing went down, we didn't know how long it was going to last, right? So
sure.
I started pinstriping in my mix booth. It wasn't a mix booth, but I just started pinstriping. Get my mind right. And just to get away from and so that's where the art studio came from, I guess. So I did some murals, some tiki stuff behind me, and that's my jam.
That is.
I like my tiki bars and my tiki drinks. I'll drink a sweet tiki drinks with 7 shots, but I won't do a shot. That's dumb.
We gotta modify rules to still, work for us.
Yeah, exactly.
This is
but I only have one. I only have one.
Oh, okay, but yeah, 1 equals 7
Wrong.
is 1. Yeah. Like a friggin' Long Island iced tea in a tiki cup.
However you get there, bro.
Absolutely, brother. It was an absolute treat to see you, get to talk to you. We love you, man. We miss you. We're hoping we can all come together in some way sometime in the near future.
I'll make my way around there. In fact, we were talking about doing a little comeback around here, little special guest shot here in the next couple of weeks, right? We're gonna do that.
Yeah. I would like that very much.
Now, I just want to say thanks to you, George Edwards, Sound Image Family, San Francisco, Kyle, co-host, all the crew that it takes, everybody that works behind the scenes that nobody sees. It takes to pull off a show, dude. I can't tell you. I tried pulling off a little bit of a show here doing this with the live entertainment and stuff, and it's just a lot of work, and it takes a lot of dedication from a lot of guys, and kudos to all you guys for making it happen and making it look and sound like $1 million. And thank you so much for helping us all get through it.
You are the best, man. I swear to God, I think you were probably one of the first guests to acknowledge the crew and the effort, and we appreciate that. That's very, very kind of you.
You don't put on your mic without somebody putting fresh batteries in it.
Yeah. Was that you, Mikey?
Hey, Fluffer, where's that fan? It takes a big crew to get old Vince and the show up and running, man.
You're so right.
Fucking legends, dude.
Great. I'm sorry.
No, thank you sincerely. I'm humbled to be part of the family that have guests that you've had on, and
it's truly our deep honor and pleasure to have you on, my brother. Seriously, let's keep in touch. Continue success. I wish you all the best. Please send love to the wife. And I'm really looking forward to sometime in the near future we can come together. It'll be really great.
Yeah, bro.
All right, pal.
Thank you so much.
All right, you take care. Oh, look at that beautiful place. So cool.
Yeah, bro.
You be good, Daddy.
Here, hang on. You hanging up or?
Yeah. No. You stay on the line. I'm just going to bow out of this show, and then we'll talk a little bit afterwards, huh?
All right, here.
Oh, man, look, we're getting a tour.
We're getting the tour. The grandiose tour.
Dude, sexy.
Oh, fancy.
So the first band that I had to do a live performance was so nice to bring these video walls and leave them here.
Oh, that is.
So I can put content.
That looks very legit. Look at you. Oh, man. Oh, that is too cool, brother. You have fully realized that. That is really great. Look at that. Oh, man. Yeah, you got to be very proud of that. Oh, look at all the sound. Oh, yeah. Really, really cool. Shit, maybe I need to come out to you and hang out in your world. Will you let me sing in the booth? If I do, I can't do it well, but if I come out.
I did what I could. I don't have $1 million budget, but I tell you what, I'm just happy to be able to walk across my back lawn and come into a nice facility like this and do some cool stuff.
It's absolutely beautiful. Hell yeah.
Fuck yeah.
It's absolutely beautiful. You should be very proud of yourself. I am very proud of you.
Thank you guys so much, man.
You bet, pal. You have
Thanks
a great
for having
evening.
me on the show.
Thanks for being here, buddy.
Thanks, guys.
Bye-bye. Love you, baby. Right on. So,
all right.
Can you see what I mean? Just a dear human being, just a sweet.
Total treat. What a nice guy.
He's really a brother. He's just a wonderful human being, an extraordinary human being. And you saw the studio there. That's
gorgeous.
Oh, man, I'd love to go and if I knew how to play anything worth a shit, I'd have a lot of fun. Listen, you guys, we know you got 1,000 other places you can be, in this crazy world full of all these opportunities and different things that are available to you, and you come here. We really appreciate it. We've got we've been very lucky to have a really long run of some really great guests. We're going to keep trying to do that. Gets a little trickier for us as we're busy, but we got another next week on Thursday at 7 p.m. We're going to have a really unique human being here, a special guy. Is Tom Lipinski. Tom Lipinski is the guy. You may have seen that Johnny Cash picture where Johnny Cash is flipping off That's from San Quentin. San Quentin. This is the guy that brought Metallica, Santana, Queens of the Stone Age. All the badass acts that have been able to play at San Quentin, that's because of Tom Lipinski. Tom Lipinski has done 1,600 of his own shows in his own right. He's about 70 years old. He tries to make a difference in folks' life that need to have a second chance, and that's who gets to attend those type of events at these places. It's not the bad guys; it's the guys that are coming back out and they're going to be with us. And Tom tries to give them a little bit of hope and a shot at working in production. And these amazing bands come to his facilities. He's an extraordinary human being. He's really a one-of-a-kind guy. He's got stories galore. He's going to be sitting in that chair right here next Thursday at 7 p.m. We sure hope you guys come back and see us. We're going to probably work right up to the last minute, and we're going to jump on the air, and we're going to talk to Tom. I'm going to make sure I have proper amount of batteries on. Hey, Mike, can I have new batteries next week? Okay, Mike said it's cool with the batteries. He's gonna go out and invest in some better batteries. So.
I think he told you to get a new pallet of batteries because those are no good.
No,
We've sorted that one.
I'm not sure it's my fault. I called those batteries
I got it,
into the
Mike.
shop.
It's Vince's fault.
It's my fault. Regardless, we try our best. We appreciate the crew, all you guys. Alan Pettibone, our LD, Mikey Brown, our executive producer, the one and only Kyle Thomas. All of you guys, we couldn't do without you. We want to thank our guest again this evening. It was such a treat having him on. The one and only Greg Rideout. We will see you next week at Thursday at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Until then, you guys be careful, behave, be good to yourselves. Good night.